Hi everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Happy Tuesday. I have a bonus video for you on the 15th or around the 15th of every month. The Anthony's Papercraft design team comes together to create a card around a theme, and this month's theme is 4th of July. So instead of going really literal, I have decided to go ahead and make a birthday card. So we're going to be using the cupcakes because you guys know I'm obsessed with these cupcakes, and then we're going to take it in a red, white, and blue direction. So we'll see how we do. So I am going to go ahead and turn it over to the voiceover, Misty, and we will get started. So we're going to start this card like I start all cards. I'm going to start by stamping the image using some Gina K ink, and then we're going to move on to coloring. I'm coloring with my Copic markers this time, and starting with the strawberry, I'm doing the darkest red to the lightest red. There you can see the colors that I am going to be using. And I did come back later and add in a little bit of R59 at the bottom of the strawberry, but I really love how this one turned out. You guys have seen me color these cupcakes a lot. It's probably one of my favorite stamp sets from Anthony, minus the fireplaces for Christmas. So I'm just using a couple of greens to color in the stem and the leaves, and then I'm using some bright blues on the cupcake liner. Fun fact, I was listening to Bailey Sarian when I was doing this. So yeah, I had some entertainment, and that's, I've mentioned that before. I just sat down, turn on some YouTube, and color, and then edit it down for you guys to watch. So darkest blue in the darkest areas, and then the lightest blue in the lighter areas. Again, this stamp kind of gives you places where it would be darker and where it would be lighter, and so you kind of can just follow what the illustrator has given us. So this is where I'm showing that I'm bringing in that little bit of a deeper red. I'm using that on the bow, and then I'm going to use 46 and 35 to finish it out. I used 32 as the lightest color on the strawberry to just give it a bit of a highlight. Speaking of strawberries, do any of you grow them like in a pot? Rob and I have a little bit of herb garden, and I think I'll insert a picture to show you my basil. I made homemade pesto the other night, but we were talking about what would we grow instead of basil or instead of stevia. I got a stevia plant, and I don't know what to do with it. So I was thinking about strawberries, and he was like, well, they grow in a pot. And I'm like, well, they grow wild. So you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if I can grow strawberries in a pot. I think I would rather grow strawberries than basil. I mean, I enjoy basil, and pesto is good. I add heavy cream and extra Parmesan cheese and make a pesto cream sauce that is chef kiss. But I mean, you can only make so much pesto. And Rob won't eat anything like a margarita pizza. He won't eat like a mozzarella and tomato salad with fresh basil and balsamic vinegar. Like, he won't eat a whole bunch. So I kind of feel like using basil, like growing basil, is just kind of, I don't know, a waste. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. So I am using the Star Spangled Confetti dies from TLC Design Shop to make a shaped card. So I am cutting down this piece of blue from MFT, and I'm scoring it. I cut it at 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. Now I'm going to slow this down to normal speed so you can watch what I'm going to do. When you want to make a shaped card with a die, you need to go ahead and make your card like you want to make it. So if you want it to be, this way, do it this way. If you want it to do portrait, do it the other way. And what you need to do is leave, just a little bit of space at the top that won't cut. And this way, you could also do this by not putting the plate at that area, but I just find that to be too confusing. So I ran that through, and then I'm bringing in some glitter paper for to use in the stars. So you just want to make sure that you're leaving a little bit at the top that's not going to cut, and that will give you your shape. Now I had to run this through 3 or 4 times because this MFT cardstock is thick. It's a thick boy. It's a thick boy. So make sure you just though you may have to do it a couple of times. And you want to make sure that you're doing it when it's folded, and you want the shape to be a little bit above the score line. Okay. So I decided that I wanted this red layer to go behind the cupcake star, and I didn't want to waste all the space on the inside. So I'm actually putting the stars there to cut them out. And that's another kind of hint for you. If you're going to use like glitter paper as a back layer, cut it down. Like you don't have to waste it. You can cut a shape out of the middle. You can do whatever you want to do, and just to have it be on the edge, and that will give you the opportunity to not waste it on one big layer. So I believe this is glitter cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. Don't quote me. I have like 2 bags of it that I know I think Leslie sent me some at one point, and then I had picked up some from Die Cuts with a View, and then I'd picked up some from Simon Says Stamp. So it's a plethora. I have a plethora of it. So then I decided to go ahead and cut a layer for the inside. This blue is light enough that you wouldn't really want to do that. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I decided that I wanted to. So there is a frame, then there is this die, and then there is a die that cuts a star without cutting out. So I used the 2 largest dies for this project. And I'm using liquid glue to get this down. And there's a specific way this goes, so make sure you try it out before you start, because it's very specific. So once I've done that, I'm just going to use regular adhesive to get this in on the inside, and then you're going to see that it will fold over, and then you can just use scissors to cut off the tip on the inside that bends over. Now, when you're adhering something to like a textured paper, you want a strong glue. So I could have probably gotten away with using the liquid glue, but I decided to go ahead and use some score tape, tear and tape, double-sided adhesive like this. It's pretty easy, and it does a really good job of sticking. And I'm just using my Tim Holtz Poke Tool to peel off the backer paper. Then I'm going to use some of these stars, and I'm going to adhere them at the bottom. I'm going to do this on the outside and the inside. I love this die. I think it's really versatile. And if you're someone who likes to use, just like it says, little confetti stars, I think it's perfect. I will have it linked down below along with the stamp for Anthony's Papercraft. So once I've done that, that's it. Initially, I thought I might stamp the happy birthday on the front. And I did stamp it, and I went through all of that, but when I got done, I was like, this is too big. This is too big. So, but if you're new to embossing, you need to use an anti-static tool. You need to stamp with either a pigment ink or embossing ink like Versamark, and then go over it with your powder, and then you heat it with a heat tool. Fun fact, this is the second card I made in this day. My heat tool had died, and I was like, is it dead forever? But it overheated. I heated too much. So that is something that can happen. So make sure you're careful with that, so you don't overheat your thing. And here is what it looks like all done. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate you. Let me know what you think of this card in the comments down below. Let me know if you know anybody that has a July 4th birthday. That would be really cool to know. My brother's birthday is in July, but that's all I know. Anyways, I love you so much. Make sure you come back here tomorrow for another round of Crafty Roulette. This one was a tough one, y'all. It was a tough one. All right, guys. Love you. Bye for now.